Preparatory School. Yes.
Okay. So in your own words as the director, please tell us what's the main objective for this project?
The main objective of this program is creating a critical mass of youths that is equipped with tools to help them live a responsible life. One, in their homes, in their schools, and in their communities. We are all aware that we are, as you've said in the introduction, that we're living in trying times in parenting. In parenting boys, in homes, in schools, in our communities, youths are so violent, they are so aggressive. Even at home, they fight. Parents are fight. Actually, there are some parents who fight with their children. So we want to bring in this program that can put the boys at least at a point where they are responsible over their lives, responsible over their decisions, responsible over everything that happens around them. And what I didn't tell you in the beginning is that this program is going to be held at Kaboja, Mugwanya Preparatory School, Kaboja, from the 8th to 15th of December.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what is required for any parent that is watching right now? What is required? What are the requirements to be a part of this program?
Of course, the parent, there are not so many requirements. Okay. Of course, the parent just writes a letter of consent and then also makes a payment, because parents normally ask, is it free or not?
Yes.
It's not free because it's not even funded. Actually, some parents are like, is it funded by some foreign organizations, whatever?
Also, the school, you're taking care of everything.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Actually, the parents are the funders. The parents are the sponsors to this program. So no need to worry about anything. Our parents are paying just 270,000 for all the accommodation and the rest of that. But then the parents who would like to have their children take on what you call a multiple intelligence test. So those will add on 50,000 on top of the 250,070, then the 50,000 for a multiple intelligence test. So this one helps you as a parent to know the intellectual giftedness of your child.
Okay.
And then we shall make an assessment, and then we shall let you know what is required.
Because I was about to ask what entails the intellect test.
Yeah. It's basically it's an intelligence, intellectual giftedness, whereby we are able to let you know the specific areas your child will be able to take on, so that it gives you time to prepare this child for that kind of career.
Okay. Do you mind telling us the age brackets you are inviting to this program? Because there has to be an age you're starting at.
Thank you. We are starting from 5 to 20, 5 years to 20.
Why that particular bracket of age?
Yeah, because actually even some parents also ask is, how do you have the mix-up of 5 to 20? Now take your home setting, okay? You have big boys and small girls and then the moderate ones. So this is like a home setting. You have children of 5 years, even of months. Then 5, 6, 10, and then have the bigger boys.
Yeah.
So these days, many women are crying because of irresponsible husbands, and women are crying. Men are also crying of irresponsible wives. You see, so we want to create a critical mass of youth, as I told you, that is responsible over one another. We want these children to know the kind of responsibility they have towards their big brothers, and the responsibility these big boys have towards their young sisters, because they're mothers, they're fathers, so they should be in position to look after themselves very well. Just give an example. If you are to leave your home and you're going somewhere, you have your 15-year-old boy, or 16 or 17 or 19, whatever, and then you have the younger ones. Of course, you're going to assign the responsibility of looking after the young child to the big sister, to the older ones. So the older ones in the 7 adults actually want them to groom like, hey, you are a responsible person. You should be in position to look after your siblings very well. And that's why many parents these days like crying if a parent is sick or dying, whatever. They're like, how are my children going to be? Because the parent acts as a binding factor.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes like these boys cannot take the responsibility, and the girls cannot take the responsibility over their young siblings. So we are bringing them in for them to know the maximum responsibility they have towards one another. Because the younger one has and the big one has. So they should be able to live in a community or in a society whereby they all know the kind of responsibility they have towards one another and grow up with that. Because remember, whatever you are teaching a child, you don't need to teach him when he's grown up. In Uganda, there is a saying that Akacha Mama Mera. He's already broken. So start at a tender age where they're able to know their responsibility over one another, and then the bigger ones also to know that. And then they grow up with that kind of respect. You will have fewer verbal fights or physical fights at home because they know exactly what to do.
That's true. Now, speaking of age,
Yeah.
the age differences, you're inviting children and youth between the ages of 5 to 20.
Yeah.
How are you going to manage to educate these kids according to their intellect? Because there's a huge difference from between 5 and 20, or even 16, or even 11. How are you going to manage this? Are there strategies put in place to teach them according to ages? How are you going to do this?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. Now, of course, these ones are young, and then you have the bigger boys. The young ones will have their specific sessions, and then the bigger ones also have their specific sessions. But then there are sessions that join all of them at once.
Okay.
Just like in a home setting. When you want to talk to these children, okay? In Uganda we call it okubabulirira. Of course, you have content that you are telling the young ones, and then you have content that you're telling the bigger ones, and then you have content where they all join in all together.
Sure.
And you say, my children, literally meaning in Luganda, abana bange, all of them at once. So now you are talking to them together as a parent. So we have those sessions whereby we are going to bring them all together. They sit together as if it's a father or mother, because having by the way, this is organized by also responsible parents who are organizing this program. So parents out there shouldn't fear. They are bringing their children to fellow parents who exactly know what our children are going through and who know exactly what to tell their children. Actually, some fears parents have, we are going to raise everything there.
Yeah.
Another special thing about this program is that the parent is free to let us know that, you know what, in your program throughout the week here, please talk about this.
Yeah.
It's giving me problems in my home. Talk about this, and then you just text to us. Please talk about this, talk about this, talk about this. And then we embed it together in our daily talks.
Have there been, because if it's commencing in between those dates, have you already held, or are you intending to hold some meetings with the parents to hear their views and their points, like you mentioned?
Thank you very much. Now, one, the parents have a platform of communicating to us through WhatsApp, calls, emails, and the rest of that.
Okay.
But then, after the 7 days of responsible talks, we organize a program a day, not a full day, usually an hour. We invite all parents who registered their children in this program to come over. And then we tell them exactly what we told them, what were our findings, because we handle one-on-one talks, and then the general counseling, the guidance and counseling thing. And then we have to let the parents know, we have to give you feedback that, you know what, this is what is happening. And this is how best you can help your child overcome such fears.
Okay.
And also other problems as we parents may not know. Children open up. Because we held one last year and children opened up. And then we were able to let the parents know that your child is going through this. And this is how actually you can help this child overcome this kind of problem. So we have that interaction with the parents. They are free. Even during the course of the week, parents will be free to, we shall give a day when parents will be free to drop by, talk to the child. What have you gained so far? How is they going? Even to check on their general well-being.
Yeah, because some of them might have anxiety and
exactly.
they are homesick.
Someone
That's
gives you,
interesting.
someone gives you his or her child of 5 years.
Yes.
They have never been away from them, so they really want to check on them. And actually, even the parents want to see. The children also want to see how mommy is doing. So they'll be free. We shall give them time to come in, check on the boy or on the girl, say a few things, grab a bite together, and then you go back and you live with your child with us. Because at that time, he or she's our child.
Now, after these 7 days, and let's say the 8th day, where you take an extra hour to interact with the parents, do you have a follow-up program you've put in place for maybe after holidays, when they are bringing back their kids, or maybe those lines that they can access you on the platforms? Do you have a program put in place to find out if this program actually impacted their children, to find feedback from the parents?
Yes. We have a platform. We have a platform for all parents who have been in the program, the children we've worked with. So they communicate to us often, and also communicate to them. We ask them, how is this going? He had this kind of challenge. How is it going?
Oh, okay.
Can we actually, the parents are also free to invite us over to in his or our home, and then we continue to counsel these children. We also have an office.
That's the sole objective.
Exactly.
Of this whole thing.
Yeah, and we have an office too, where parents always come in, to make follow-up on everything. Actually, another surprising thing is that we give certificates after the 7 days. Yeah. Because what we handle through the 7 days is a lot. And very, very important. Very important. Actually, what you don't give them at home, what you don't tell them at school, we give it to them in 7 dots.
On that note, it brings me to the activities part.
Yes.
What activities have you guys put in place to entertain these kids? Because you have kids ranging from 5 to 20. You have a great job to take care of. How are you going to entertain them? How are you going to keep them interested in this whole thing? What activities are there?
And it's a holiday. So it has to be fun.
It has to be fun.
Yeah, it has to be fun. Now, when you talk about talks, it doesn't mean that we are going to be in talks only from morning up to evening. No, it can be so boring.
Yeah.
But first of all, in a nutshell, we are going to do effective communication skills. Effective communication skills. We are going to do drug abuse and violence. We are going to talk about misuse of gadgets or the internet. We are going to do emotional intelligence. We are going to do multiple intelligence tests. We are going to do teamwork. We are going to do personal management and interpersonal management. How do you handle yourself? You know that some people have grown up and themselves cannot even handle themselves.
True that.
So we are now teaching them how to handle themselves responsibly. Then we're going to discuss the boys' roles in the home, a girl's role in the home, children's role in the home. And by the way, these talks are offered by professionals.
Oh, you have a team, a set of people,
yes.
Professionals that are professional in these particular fields.
Yes, dear. So we are going to have professionals, counselors, reverends, priests, pastors, sheikhs. So just name it. In the field of professionals, we are going to have pilots. We are going to be surgeons. We are going to having doctors. We are going just think about any profession, because we want to inspire these children into that. And then we are also doing swimming, a lot of swimming. We are going, because Mgwanya has got a swimming pool, we are going to do a lot of swimming. We are going to do a lot of basketball. We are going to do lots of talent development in terms of dance and singing. We are going to do lots of games, intellectual games. We are going to do a lot of it. It's really going to be fun. Actually, they'll not even miss your homes. So they won't be missing your homes because you've got a program packaged very well on a daily basis. We are going to be doing aerobics every morning. Every morning.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's going to be aerobics because they've got to keep healthy. So you're going to be, actually the first thing on the program on a daily basis is aerobics. Musical aerobics, gymnastics, football, netball, volleyball, just name it.
Okay. Now, speaking of activities and all this fun, are students from all over the world, all over the country invited to join the program, or it's particularly a certain audience you're entertaining?
No, we are inviting all boys and girls from all over Uganda, from all over East Africa, from all over the world, as long as they're in the age bracket of 5 to 20. Yes. And
also they have to be able to travel to Uganda if they're coming from outside the world. They have to be able to come and attend.
Exactly.
Okay. That's interesting. So there's going to be people from different cultures, diversity, You have a great deal of work.
And by the way, one of the things that we have on the program, the activities, we're going to talk about culture.
Yes.
Culture and I.
Because people are coming from all over the country, all over the world. You're
Yes.
inviting people from different cultures, different experiences. So you must have that in place.
Yeah, and we also want to empower the youths into being proud and confident of who they are. They're Africans or Kenyans, whatever.
Yeah.
And they should also live in a society whereby, they should live in the know that I'm living in this kind of society which has a variety of people. The Baganda, the Banyoro, the Banyankole, the Barugwala, the what. So they have to know that we are living with these people, appreciate them, accept their culture differences and the kind of languages they speak, whatever it is, and then for mutual coexistence in the society.
Yes. Okay. I'd like to know, you mentioned gadgets somewhere. Are these kids allowed to carry their gadgets from home to this program? Or are you going African traditional method? Hands-on. Are they allowed gadgets in the program?
We organized this program last year, but we did not allow gadgets. But this time around, we're going to allow gadgets, tabs, phones, laptops. We're allowing them because
won't it become like a distraction to these kids? Won't you lose their attention to, when they lose cause for this whole
there
thing?
will be conditions.
Okay.
Conditions. Now, let's take an example. In our daily lives, people are on the phones even where they're not supposed to be having phones. But now we are going to teach these children that there is time for a phone. There is time for your laptop. There is time for your tab. Business time is business time. Actually, on a daily basis, they'll be having like 30 minutes. On a daily basis, 30 minutes on their phones. 30 minutes on their phones or gadgets or laptops, whatever. Strictly 30. They don't come with the phones in the session rooms. No. We shall have a gazetted place where they'll be keeping their phones. When it's time for phone, tab or laptop, they go pick it. 30 minutes, take it back. Don't use it anymore.
Is there going to be like a safe where they come when it's time for gadgets, you bring it?
Yes.
When it's like a 30-minute break with your gadget, you have to return it here.
Exactly.
How safe are those gadgets?
Thank you very much. I was actually coming to that. How safe are the gadgets? We are having security, 24-hour security, in conjunction with the Mugwanya Preparatory School security team and then the Kampala Metropolitan Police Department. The police is very good. It has worked with us all the way through. And we are going to have policemen and women who are going to be with the children right from the word go, even the dormitories patrolling.
Yeah, because you have young adults of 19 upward, 19
Yes.
and 20.
Yes.
And you don't know their maybe history, their experiences, you don't know anything about them. What if they're violent? What if they're... Before you even teach them.
Exactly.
So police is really essential.
We are going to be having them patrolling throughout the night.
Okay.
Because I want you, the parent, to give us your child in one piece
And take him back in one.
and brought back to you in one piece. So even the gadgets themselves, we shall have a gazetted place where they will be kept, and still there will be one to guard them. We shall give a coupon to whoever comes with his or her gadget. Get your gadget, give us your coupon. Give us your coupon, take your gadget, bring it back. So there will be someone specially assigned for that, so that you don't have cases where my phone was stolen, my tab was lost, someone broke my tab and I don't know. No, that is going to be well catered for. So if you give us your child with his phone or his tab, just know that there will be conditions. 30 minutes, take it back.
Yeah.
We find you with it because they will sign a contract,
Yes.
the boys and girls. We find you with it when it's not time for it, go back home. Rules.
There's going to be expulsion?
Yes, because sometimes if we don't live where rules are,
Yeah.
children can be so...
True. There has to be consequences. They have to learn.
They have to learn the consequences. Okay? So actually they will sign. You will find you with a phone. When it's on time for a phone, we find you with it in the dormitory. It's not supposed to be there. Of course you will...
And that actually teaches them boundaries. They'll know that
Exactly.
if I cross this boundary, this consequence, I'm going to face this kind of consequence.
Exactly.
Which is important.
Yeah, to some people, they don't want to be corrected. They don't want to be given such conditions. But then, where are they going to live where there are no laws? There have to be laws, regulations guiding everything. So I want them to know, time phone is time phone. No phones, no phones. So they should put it in themselves that it's not that every time be on the phone, be on the TV, no. Do other meaningful stuff. When it's time for TV,
yes.
not time for TV, time for reading, read.
Hopefully some of those aspects stick to these kids, because that reminds me of this generation. This generation is 85% of the parenting style these days is based on gadgets. We have iPad kids these days. In your own perspective, how do you think this project is going to help with these kinds of kids? Some people have grown up with Cocomelon right from baby stage. There's Miss Rachel now. She's like the Beyonce of kids. When she plays kids, it's like a drug. It's like a thing in their brain. Babies, when Miss Rachel is playing, they are going to follow the sound of Miss Rachel. How are you going, if you have these kinds of kids in this program, because they're going to mix up, how do you think this program is going to help these children? And how are you intending to make sure they get helped?
Thank you. Now, among the things we are going to teach these children is we are going to teach them how to choose or select content. Content that is good, content that is bad.
True.
Actually, we are going to have professions in ICT who will be coming to let these children know the dangers of overusing the phone. The effects of the different programs they have, or they see, or they watch over their tabs, phones, laptops, whatever.
Because it's crazy out
It's crazy. Now, we are going to teach them content, how to manage the internet, what to follow and what's not to be followed. How do you use it for your personal benefits and also to the benefit of the others? So we have professions that are coming from the ICT departments who are coming to teach these children how to use these gadgets responsibly. So we are going to teach them the effects, the outcomes of watching bad content. How to sieve content.
Yes.
The impact these programs have on their brains. Okay? So, whereby children who come and be part of that, they will know the consequences of everything they are going to be doing in their lives. Let it be watching, let it be doing, let it be reading, let it be anything. That's the beauty of it. So by the time, when they leave these sessions to go back home, at least they've got good information. Because we cannot run away from technology.
You cannot.
It is here to stay.
We live in the era.
We're living in an era of technology.
Yes.
Modern. We are so modern now.
Yes.
Children are learning on laptops and the rest of that. You cannot really take it away.
And these days, women are working more. Women are more in the labor force now, so you cannot guarantee that my wife is going to be a stay-at-home mom. These days, you have to talk through it. Who's going to take care of kids? Create time. So you still can't run away from your kids consuming that kind of content.
You can't.
Now, which brings me to the other question, because you said you have a period where you interact with the parents after the holidays, because after this program, they'll go home and spend time with their parents.
Yes.
And then the parents will see if this was impactful.
Exactly.
Now, will you find out, will you, for example, in your meetings, when you meet these parents, before these kids go home, will you at least ask them to maybe monitor their screen time? Because now when they go home where there are no rules, some parents are free, they might still abuse it.
Yeah.
Is it like, don't you think this should be maybe included in that session with the parents where you enforce?
Yeah, it's totally included. It's totally included because, as I told you, that we let the parents know what we've discussed, how we've discussed it, and what should they expect when the children are back home.
Yes.
Well, actually, 7 Dots is a program where results are direct. It won't take you ages to see the impact of 7 Dots. 7 Dots results is just right on dot. As soon as he or she comes back home, you'll see the results. And this impact will live with them all their lives.
Okay.
So that's why we touch their brains, we touch their hearts, we touch their souls. So by the time they come back to you, they are totally renewed. Actually, we have meditation sessions in 7 Dots.
You do?
Yeah. We are teaching children to meditate, to check on their lives.
I feel like there's a lot of chaos between 5 years and 10. How are you even going to have them in one place to meditate?
Yeah. No, the Mugwanya Preparatory School is a very big school. Very big.
I've seen it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and so serene. So we have lots of places to divide these children into meditation.
Yeah.
Each one to live in his time, to live in his brain, to live in his dream, to live in our dream. So we create that time. We teach them to live principled life. Yeah, principled life. That's what we are looking at. Because we want to develop, want to create a principle-centered person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Decent citizens for the future.
For the future children or youths who won't be taken up by everything. I'm following, I'm going. No. There has to be principles that govern our children.
Yes.
When they are growing up. So we need to teach them those principles when they are growing up. If we don't teach them those principles, they will never learn them. You've seen adults who are like, I'm everywhere. Go everywhere. It's like they have no program of that day. In their lives, they're like,
See you later.
So we don't want to see children of that sort.
Okay.
We want to groom or raise responsible children.
Earlier you spoke about expelling, at least like if someone has proven they do not want to be there, or maybe they're too stubborn, or they refuse to abide by your rules, rules that govern this program, you'll send them home. What if the parent actually brought their child knowing they're really stubborn and that this might happen? Don't you think you would have done the child a disservice?
A disservice.
Yes.
Now, thank you very much. I was actually going to say that, and thank you. Now, parents who are like having naughty children and they want to bring them to the 7 Dots to see the kind of improvement they can have. We have an orientation session when we are beginning the session. I mean, the 7 Dots is beginning. We let the youths or the children know the do's and don'ts. When you are caught doing this, this is what will happen. Rule is, unfortunately, there are some homes that don't have rules.
Yeah, that's true.
But then we have to teach these children that they have to live in a place where there are rules. If they are not there, create them. Don't do this in my mother's house or in my father's house. At home, we don't do this. So we are going to do something in 7 Dots. So let's assume that a case has happened during the course of the week. One of these children has broken the rules of the 7 Dots.
They most likely will.
Because they are stubborn. What we do, we have counselors. We call this boy in or girl in. We talk to him or talk to her. If he or she stubbornly and intentionally refuses to abide by the rules, or by the others who are also violent, if we sense that this kind of behavior is going to badly impact the others or hurt others in some way, then we shall call the parent that, you know what, I think this child has to be taken back home because he needs more time to think about himself.
Yeah, because you can't fix everything.
You can't fix everything.
Charity begins at home. A lot of people, even adults now, have childhood trauma, all because of how their parents were. Maybe they lived in unhealthy households. So you, as a program, you might not fix everything. So that's very understandable.
Exactly. So once we tell the children that don't do this in 7 days. We don't do this. We don't fight. We don't hurt others. We do not disobey the instructors. We listen to the matrons. We listen to the askaris or security, whatever. Whoever is in the vicinity, all at the premise of Mugwanya Preparatory, during the 7 days, the child has got to respect. And we tell them, if you do this, this is what will happen. So at least you inform them before time, and then they know the consequences of what will happen. We shall not beat them. We don't beat them. We talk to them and put them back in shape. Children listen.
They do listen.
Yeah, the children listen. Sometimes they've not spoken to the right person.
Exactly.
Or you've not given them time.
And some parents are so harsh. And you spoke about emotional intelligence in this program. You need to teach these kids. Some kids are coming from homes where their parents are bitter. That is why, because a child only acts according to whatever they've been learned, they've been taught. Now, their parents might be very bitter, and this child may be, for example, the expulsion thing, they might not deserve it. They might be coming from a very, very, I don't know, dysfunctional family, and they might need grace, they might need mercy, they might need understanding. So approach.
Approach
Approach is so important with children.
And there are some parents who normally say that Nzo mwana wange yagana. I gave up on him. I gave up on her. This is a child. They still have time to change. No matter how stubborn this child is, you will be surprised that 1 week will change him.
They're better, yes.
Just, you'll be surprised. Parents will be surprised that 1 week will have a change. Actually, I can call it it will be like an overhaul, whatever. A total change of your child. Expect it.
Like a rebirth of their character.
Exactly. So don't be there and say like, I gave up on him. Don't give up on your child.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, just bring the child to us. No matter how stubborn he is, as long as he will not be hurting others. Even those who are violent, they will be handled very well. We shall not beat them because we shall not handle them violence with violence.
Yes.
No. There is love. Lot of love with God in 7 dots.
It's so important.
So if a parent brings a child to us, just be rest assured you've given a parent your child who knows exactly what to do. Because we are many, we have a big team of professionals, parents, just name it. And these parents are the ones who will be coming to talk to these children. So it's parents owning 7 dots. It's just a collective effort of you and I.
Okay.
Of you and I to groom a responsible generation, a next generation.
That's quite a package you've got yourselves there. Now, I'd like to know, all this said and done, do you have any registrations that have already been received at your offices?
Yes. Parents are already registering.
Really?
Yeah, they're registering at our office. Our office is at Impererwe, along Gayaza Road. As you're sloping down, as you're going to Gayaza, Gayaza, after Impererwe, there is Kado petrol station, and then you see a very big poster, 7 dots, ITU Golden Time Building. That's where we are. They're registering there. Others are registering at Mugwanya Preparatory School, and others are even the phone. Just call, and then I'll send you the registration form and the requirement list. The requirements are the usual ones. You don't carry mattresses.
Yeah, okay.
No mattresses.
Okay.
Just come with your blanket, your personal effects, basically.
Just a suitcase,
just
a hand luggage.
Hand luggage.
Okay.
But the thing is, be responsible to pack your sport attire.
Okay.
Because there is aerobics and the rest of that. So the rest are the usual things. So there is parents already paying in. They are already registering to participate.
That's interesting.
And we have quite a number that has already registered. And we're soon closing registration.
Okay, so that brings me to one of the very last things. Are there any rewards in place for the best students, the most disciplined?
Yes.
Because these are kids. When you reward them, they feel so inspired to do better.
We have rewards, but the general reward is a certificate.
Okay, yeah.
By the way, in future, you to marry my daughter, I will first ask you for a 7 dot certificate.
Oh yeah? Come on. What if I'm a good person and I happen to not have the certificate?
Anyway, that will depend.
That should be a joke.
So, but in future, 7 dots. Will be a requirement to every individual. Now, we have the certificates that we are going to give to the boys and girls to reward them. Of course, in their CVs, they'll have to put what they learned in their life and their journey. And then we have also awards rewards that we are going to give to the most disciplined, most lovely, most active.
Yes.
Oh, so we are going to give all that. We are going to have dance battles.
Okay.
Dance battles with them, even sports, whatever. So we should be rewarding the best.
What kind of rewards are you guys giving? Money? Are they tangible?
They're tangible.
Okay.
Money, if I give you money right now, you'll spend it even before you reach home. So it'll be
Ice
something
cream,
tangible.
Mommy, ice cream. You have 5-year-olds for crying out loud.
And by the way, we've allowed them to come with money.
You
Pocket
have?
money, yeah.
Are there going to be canteens?
Yes. Because we want to teach them, to share with others. We are going to have social time.
Yeah.
Social time after work, you sit with a friend, take a few bites and take a drink together, then go back home. So we have that time, and a special place has been gazetted for that. So give them money. We've not restricted them. If you're giving them 1 million, it's up to you. If you're giving them 500, it's up to you. But ask accountability.
Is there any way, because most of these programs, even schools, in my school, in high school, they used to, at least, we had an account, like a bank where they banked students' money, pocket money. In St. Mary's Chitende, they do that. Where you're assigned, you're not allowed to keep money in the dormitory. What if they steal from these kids? Because remember, you have kids from 5 to 20, and you don't know their backgrounds. You might have people with
Now
so
for the
how are you going to manage their money?
For the young ones, our project accountant will be keeping it for them.
Okay.
They'll come on a daily basis to, can I have this? Can I have this amount? And then it will be recorded. And then for the bigger children, of course,
they can keep their money.
And we have also, part of the sessions we have is financial management. So we're going to teach them how to manage finances.
Yeah, because I was worried about the 5-year-olds to at least 12 or 13.
No, there's a system for that.
Okay.
So a child will not lose any money. They believe that they won't lose any money.
Okay.
In the previous years or the previous sessions we had, Finca came and talked to them about investing, planning for financial planning, financial management, and there's something will happen.
Okay.
So they will have to know how to budget for the money that has been given to them. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've not restricted them that don't come with this amount of money. No. It's up to you. It's your money. This is your child. Their parents can say that I can afford to give my child 1M for that kind of camping. And it's up to the parent.
I almost forgot this one thing. When I was reading about your program, it said somewhere this was initially, it only invited the boys. It was only for the boys. And this time, you're including the girls.
Yeah.
What inspired that move?
Now, last year, our first session was last year. We had planned for boys only. But then, because girls get plenty of talks, and then there's a way society expects a boy to know. So when they are grooming girls to be wives, and a lot is taught to them.
Yeah.
But then we leave out the boys.
So much.
And then that's why this generation has so many single mothers.
Very many, because the men have no idea how to be responsible.
How to manage.
They don't know.
And it's what we looked at. But these boys are missing out on matters concerning personal management. Because they have grown, the society expects them to know, but they have not known.
Because they're not told.
Because they are not, exactly, they're not told. They're not told. So now we are creating a generation of boys, want to create a generation of boys that is so caring. A generation of boys that cares for a woman.
This is why you're mixing them, so the
Yes.
boys have a live example.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because even as you are preparing a boy, there is a girl who has not been prepared for your son who has been prepared.
Yes.
So I want to prepare a boy who will be fit to marry your daughter. And I want to prepare a girl who will be fit for your son.
In the future.
In the future.
Yeah.
So, and I want to groom or prepare a child or a boy or a girl fit to be employed anywhere.
Yes.
You see? So that's what we are looking at. And then we said that let's also include the girls so that we have a package. Because in these sessions, by the way, The boys, we shall maintain our system of talking to the boys. Boys alone. And then we shall have the girls alone sessions.
Yeah.
Girls will be talked to, boys will be talked to. And then there are sessions that will bring them together. And by the way, do you know that there are some boys who have been in single schools since their primary up to secondary?
That's true.
The only females they've been with are those, their sisters,
their siblings,
and mother.
I know.
And the same thing applies to the boys.
Yeah, the girls too.
Oh, the girls
Some
too.
girls have also gone to single school.
Now, we want to give them an opportunity at least. Let them now come together. Because society is coming together, coexistence. Actually, as I've told you earlier on, some boys just don't know how to manage girls.
Because they're afraid of them. They're afraid
of them.
been in any vicinity with them.
Exactly. Even if they grow up, that will still be with them. They don't know how to manage
They'll
them.
be avoiding conflict. Any disagreement, they're running away to go meet the boys.
Exactly.
They don't want to face conflict. So
They want to,
hopefully the emotional intelligence class helps them. Yeah.
So we want to put them together to develop a greater emotional intelligence of these people's emotions.
Yes.
Or feelings.
Yes.
Handle them well. The boys have got emotions. Boys are not catered for these days. Society is like, only girls. No. What about the boy child?
I like that emotions part where everyone's emotions are valid.
Exactly.
And also, as you've said, when you're teaching a young child,
Yes.
when you teach them, even the Bible says, teach a child the way of the Lord and they'll not forget when they grow up. Teach them, especially the boys, that girls' emotions do not mean being dramatic. Boys, when boys express themselves, it doesn't mean they're weak. Teach them that their emotions are all valid.
That's what you want to do.
Yes.
Actually, 7 Dots is all about emotional intelligence. In fact, if our education system could involve emotional intelligence in the curriculum, we would be having fewer fights in the homes and in our societies, in our communities. Emotional intelligence guides, because I respect your feelings. I know your feelings. You respect my feelings too. So we live in a society whereby each of these emotions have got to be valued and respected. This is what I feel. Okay, this is what I feel. Because we live in a society whereby everyone has got what he or she wants. There is what you want. There is what I want. You see? So if I go by what I want and you also go by what you want, we cannot come up with anything constructive. But if I say, okay, that's what you want, this is what I think, how do we blend it in together?
How do we come to terms?
How do we come to terms?
Because we can have different opinions.
Marriages have broken just because of one thing.
Yes.
Emotional intelligence. Communication. And 7 Dots is all about emotional intelligence and effective communication towards one another. Mutual coexistence between you and everyone.
But now for this, there are some kids that are coming from households. For example, in African households, remember some of us that have been raised by our parents, they were raised by different people. So they use that knowledge that they know is correct to raise us, even if it wasn't.
Even if it wasn't.
So some parents are so closed off.
Yeah.
I don't know, how are you going to, because this child might come from a household where parents do not respect communication at all. When what they say goes, they do not want to listen to their children, and it's very important. So I don't know, you're going to teach these kids how to communicate effectively. How are you going to make sure the parents, deal with this healthy version of their child that is brought back home without disorganizing whatever you've taught these kids?
Now, there's what they tell us, that listening is now a lost art. People don't listen to one another. They go by what they know. They go by what they believe in. Only. Because as I've said, there's what you believe in.
Yeah.
There's what I want. But then, as I've said, if I go by what all I believe in, for instance, if I come and say, 7 Dots, this is what we are doing. That's it. And then we accept no corrections. We accept no opinions. We accept nothing.
Some parents are that way, you agree? Especially African parents.
But then, we cannot be that effective.
Yes.
No, we cannot. If we are to be effective, we've got to listen to you.
Yes.
If we could change here, how is it? How is this? If you come and say that, how is it if you change the diet? Because if we don't look into it, your child could be allergic to some foods.
Yes.
And then because we are believing in that only, then the child will be sick. So what we say is this: we are teaching a child to listen. Let us revive the listening art. Many people there are only hearers, but not listeners. So 7 Dots is creating listeners, not only hearers. Children who will listen to you when they come back to you. Do this, they will do it. Don't do it, they will not do it. That's what we
But the parents
need.
have to be also cooperative to this version of kids you're creating.
Exactly.
Because if you're teaching these children for their feelings to be validated,
Exactly.
and then they go home and the parent cannot even discuss what we're going to have for dinner. If it's mukene, it's mukene. If it's chicken, it's chicken. If it's beef, it's beef. Maybe I'm having a digestive problem and I need to discuss, Mom, let's try this. And some parents are closed off. So I think the parents also need to tap into, like you said, you'll invite them, talk about what you told these kids. They need to be able to adhere
Exactly.
to these changes in their
Exactly.
kids for healthy progress.
Because when effective communication, that's what we say, effective communication between you, the parent, and the child.
Yeah.
You have got to be in a position of listening to your child. And actually, some children have gotten so many problems and they haven't been helped out. Why? Because the parent refused to listen.
They don't listen.
I don't have time. Don't tell me. You know, don't tell me. I don't want to hear what you've got to say. Go to your room. I don't want to listen to you. I'm tired. No.
They're harsh.
So we want to have a different version of parents.
Yes.
We are creating, and those who are already in the system. Because believe me, some boys who are 20 or girls who are 20, some have kids. They're young mothers. They're young fathers.
Yeah.
So we want them to come and tell them what to do as young fathers and young mothers. As I've said, not a generation that is going to ignore women's feelings. A generation that will not ignore boys or men's feelings. If you come to marry me just because there is what you want, or not considering what I want and why I'm marrying you, it means that you only come for your selfish interests. Not to care about me as a son to someone, but just because you are coming in to fill in what you want. Just what you want. I want you to get married to someone, you know, at least there's this kind of benefit that we are. It's actually, it's a win-win situation. Relationships, marriages, and the rest of that, it's a win-win.
It has to be a team.
It has to be a team.
Win-win, yeah.
You win, I win.
Yes.
So that's a team. You lose, I lose.
You know, sometimes I feel sorry for the boy child. Because, you know, boys are raised, you don't cry. Boys don't show their emotions. So, Bambi, boys grow up thinking being a masculine and healthy man is when you hide your feelings. You don't have to show that you're hurt, you're vulnerable. But in actual sense, they really need to express themselves.
That's a problem.
How truly they feel.
That's a problem. Men have
healthy.
feelings.
Yes, they do.
Boys have feelings. But who considers those feelings? Who considers those feelings? The society has got to know that men or boys to have feelings. They cry.
They do, and it's
Fathers
healthy.
cry.
Crying is actually healthy because you're letting go of that energy, the inside energy.
Yeah. And I had one woman saying that, I want to see my husband cry. You see, he also has emotions. He has emotions. Why do you want to make him cry? Yeah? Why do you want to make him cry? There's something applies to the boys. They want to say, I want to make her cry. I want her to feel it. But are you doing what you would like to be done unto you? So if you don't want it, why do you do it to the others?
Yeah.
I think the education should have that. That's a holistic child. That's what someone who considers others' feelings. If I don't want it, someone else also doesn't want it.
Yeah. So it's quite a thing you have going on there, and I'm so proud on behalf of the kids that are going to join.
Thank
We're
you.
so proud of you people for putting these kinds of projects in place for our children to learn, and our siblings and our young adults. And unfortunately, there's so much more we could talk about, but time is against us. And that brings us to the end of our show. Our main focus today has been how to encourage and create upstanding citizens for our future generations to come. And that brings us to the end of this episode on Education Forum. My guest today has been Lumo Richard, and it has been a pleasure to have you here on the show. I hope to host you another time. My name is Maureen Bavidia. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.